Cardano holders, I got some good news and I've got some bad news. You got to watch the entire video to figure it all out. But in short, we're sitting on some pretty strong support at the moment. That is the good news. And I'm going to show you some charts that could say that Cardano is about to bounce and go further to the upside. However, there's some bad news because there is a pattern in play that if this support is lost, Cardano could go much further to the downside. What is that, though? You got to watch the entire video to figure it out. This is the Investing Bros. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get into some meat and potatoes. I do want to start off, though, before we go to the charts, and we're going to show you some interesting things happening there. There is some FUD right now kind of happening when it comes to Cardano. This FUD is kind of a lot about the community questioning what the future looks like. And Charles Hoskinson actually responded to this the other day in a community post. Let's go check out an article kind of breaking down what's happening here. Again, a lot of concerns. Of course, a lot of the haters are kind of dispelling this, but I think there's even some within the Cardano community that are heavily invested who believe in long-term success, but they have some questions. Let's go through this article and kind of address what's going on here. So these are fears responding to stable coins, scalability, and top-down support. Hoskinson acknowledged the need for enhanced stablecoin support on the platform in a Monday recording, stating that there definitely does need to be better supported stablecoins on Cardano. Okay, it's going to happen. He goes into detail about why he's feeling bullish on that one. I'm not going to go into detail there, but he is acknowledging, yes, all right, hey, we got to do better with stable coins on Cardano. But in response to scalability, because I don't think that was the biggest problem, that scalability is one of the ones I think potentially could be giving most people some pause when it comes to Cardano. In response to scalability, Hoskinson explained that while the congestion does occur on the network, it does not cause significant issues or lead to skyrocketing fees. He also mentioned several upcoming improvements to reduce the problem. He's quoted by saying, "It's definitely true. It's definitely true that transaction times increase, and part of this can be solved in the UX. Part of this can be solved with other protocol enhancements." There's a lot of things that are coming in terms of scalability, and it's a multi-layered solution. There's Hydra, all the ZK stuff, input endorsers being published soon, and there's obviously an ongoing effort to get that implemented. He goes on, Hoskin addressed the issue of top-down support and perceived lack of incentives for building on Cardano. We've actually talked about this on our channel. There's some people who think it's just too hard. You might as well go find something easier like Ethereum or Solana. He emphasized that the Catalyst system with its billion-dollar treasury allows the community to decide priorities and allocate resources accordingly. He also said that Cardano ecosystem does not need a giant pile of money to attract builders, and the current Catalyst system enables the community to decide priorities and allocate resources. When he's asked about interoperability, Hoskinson explained that the Cardano native asset standard is baked into the platform design, making it easy for exchanges to support. He also mentioned that ongoing efforts to form a coalition of projects that want to get listed on exchanges and the importance of building standards for its interoperability. But probably the most important part of what he said in this article highlights is that Hoskin encouraged the community to stay the course and emphasize the importance of on-chain governance, saying that the single most important thing is an on-chain governance because that creates the foundation upon which the treasury gets open and consent gets given to what are priorities for the ecosystem. Now, again, that was a lot there. I want to make sure you guys understand there is a lot of FUD out there. There's a lot of concern. This is not the first time that Cardano or any other cryptocurrency is going to have questions and FUD. I want to remind you guys who are in this for the long haul, crypto is nowhere close to where it will be by the time it's actually being heavily utilized worldwide. There are so many developments coming in the next couple of years, and Cardano is probably the one that focuses the most on correct movements securely and prioritizing the decentralization that made cryptocurrency so special in the first place. I have not lost faith, but I would love to know in chat, what are you guys thinking right now? That does sound like Charles is admitting there's definitely some things that need improvement. But again, what chain doesn't need improvement? I still tend to believe that Charles Hoskinson, IOHK, and the Cardano team is on top of it. I'm still going to hold my bags over in Cardano. Let's get over into the charts and let's talk about the bullish and the bearish stuff happening over there. Because in the news, you know, when it comes to technology, There's people much, much smarter than me working on that and figuring all that out. What I can help you with, though, is the chart. And I told you guys the bullish thing we're kind of looking at here is ever since back here on February 14th. So it's been well over a month since then. We have had rallies all the way as high as 80 cents, but continuously, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 times we've come back into this zone around 57, 58 cents. This is a very strong level of support. You guys can even see here again with all of these touches, the bulls have defended this zone for over a month with a lot of strength. And then you start to turn on some of our tools like Lux Algo, which, by the way, check out the link down below, especially if you're looking to be in the trading game. Lux Algo has been crushing it here recently. For example, telling us back here on March 26th that we entered a strong short zone that you should have shorted Cardano, and then give you a take profit somewhere between 60 cents all the way down as far as 55 cents. Well, we've gotten to the middle of this take profit. Could have made a very interesting trade. I'm seeing a lot of signs of support here on the 4-hour chart. Again, not only do we have a take profit coming in here from our 4-hour trade, we also see ourselves coming back down to the green level of support. Now, just because you touch it once doesn't mean that you just shoot back up to the upside. Of course, back here, we touched it several times before getting a more significant bounce. But when I see those things, then I come over here and I take a look at our oscillators where it has not turned completely just yet, but we're sitting here at 81% oversold at the moment. We've had double green reversal bands, and even though the money flow is not positive yet, it has stopped dropping here on the money flow. It is looking like we are keeling over and going to the upside. The MACD is still showing signs of moving to the downside, but I'm seeing this as we get back down to support. I want to see us have a small bounce here, and I want to see the money flow go back to the upside, but we're seeing potential signs again that this strong level of support here at 57, 55 cents could be good at bouncing the price back up. Another reason I'm a little positive right now on Cardano price action is the liquidations chart, and I just hit the wrong. Well, I'll clean this up. Let's refresh this. Actually, let's go back here and let's come back into Cardano because I accidentally hit that button and it's just going to mess things up. We're going to start on the 7-day, and then I want to show you the monthly here as well. You can see our liquidations chart. Well, technically, there's slivers of liquidity that could take us possibly down to 55 cents here on the 7-day. We really have come down and taken out the two biggest long squeeze, the two biggest long liquidation zones we had. We took out this heavy zone here at 64 cents. We also came down and took out this 58-cent zone earlier this morning. Now, if I am a trader looking to make some money based off of going and taking out heavy liquidity zones, my best bet is moving the price back to the upside where it really doesn't get interesting on the 7-day chart until closer to 65 cents, with the heftiest amount being all the way up here at 68. And then, of course, you see a lot of momentum that could push us back up above the 70-cent zone. Let's go take a look at the monthly chart, meaning what could we see over the next month or so? What's looking attractive? Down here, again, there's no heavy liquidity down below us. In fact, the majority of it is sitting up again towards 70 cents, but there's even a nice pile up here towards 82 cents, which would be a new high for this rally on Cardano if we were to get a little bit of a short squeeze and start making our move back to the upside. Now, that is the positive side of Cardano. Everyone who loves Cardano probably loved looking at that TA, loved looking at this chart. And while I think there's a decent chance based off of what I just showed you that we do find some form of a bounce right here around the 57-cent mark, I have to show you the bearish side. So now all the bear haters, you guys can come out of the woodwork and let's talk about a formation that doesn't necessarily look very pretty. Some of you are used to this formation. It is called a head and shoulders pattern. We've got ourselves a little, very little, but left shoulder over here. We have a nice formulated head. You can almost call this a Batman with those two, horns going in right there. And then we have just now formed our right shoulder as well. If this comes to fruition and if it plays out, this would bring the price of Cardano all the way back down towards 40 cents. I don't like saying this. I don't like talking about this. It's technically down towards 39.8, but let's just round it to 40 cents. This would bring us back down to resistance that we had back in November. Is this going to happen? I'm not necessarily going to say that with a strong yes, because again, even if we do lose this 57-cent zone, there's going to be lots of pockets between 53 cents down to about 45 that there should still be a good amount of support there as well. However, I cannot ignore this formation in play at the moment where we have set up a head and shoulders pattern, and the price prediction for that brings us back down to a level that at one point was resistance. And in reality, we never did turn it really into strong support. After breaking through here, we only pulled back down to 45 cents, not 40 cents. If this were to happen on Cardano, this would be a pullback of 50%. And you might be saying, oh, Tim, that's ridiculous. Would that mean the bull market's over? Not necessarily, because again, when you go back and you look at the history of Cardano's price action, technically speaking, I'm not predicting brand new lows, but technically speaking, we've seen this type of big pullbacks happen on Cardano before. This was the bear market of 2018 into 2019. We, of course, had a big rally on Cardano, followed by a very measly, what was this pullback? About a 71% pullback, set a higher low, but we still had a 70% pullback. Of course, COVID had a nice little pullback. I'm not gonna compare it to that though, because COVID was its own little thing. But then you come back here, Cardano had itself a nice 51% pullback again in August of 2020. So historically, we have seen Cardano have 50% pullbacks during bull markets, and that doesn't change the fact that the price is in the bull market. It just means, hey, this is a coin that is retracing. And I'm telling you right now, you can fuss about it, you can cry about it, but I'm telling you now, if you see a 40-cent or 39-cent Cardano, I would scoop that up in a heartbeat, because I still think the long-term plan for Cardano, the long-term price action for Cardano still sees us going north of $6, probably pushing closer between 8 to 10. That's my personal opinion, though. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What did I get right in this video? What did I get wrong? What do you think is going to happen? Will 57 cents be support, or will we fall down to lower levels? I'm going to go ahead and start here by saying my personal opinion is right now, I do believe Bitcoin is close to seeing some pretty strong support around 64K. I think a lot of other altcoins like Solana are going down to exact levels I called in yesterday's live show. I think there's a decent chance we at least get some form of a bounce here on Cardano around this 57, 58 cent zone. Let's look at the charts over the next couple of days. I told you the 4-hour chart's turning. Let's see if that continues to turn positive. If the answer to that question is yes, then I think we have found our support. If the answer to that's no, though, and we lose 57 cents, it could be a pullback down to 45 to 40 cents for sure. Smash the like button on your way out. If you are new here, hit subscribe for more information on all of your favorite coins. We cover cryptocurrencies, we cover stocks, we cover everything you need to know so that you can make money to have that financial freedom you've been looking for. I'll see you guys in today's 3 p.m. live show. Adios.